everyone, it's Carol Williams with Williams Immigration, and we are back for another Monday morning of Beyond the Soundbite, where we talk about all things U.S. immigration. So, I like to dive right in. So, the first thing I want to talk to y'all about this morning is the third phase of the premium processing expansion for national interest waiver applications and multinational executive and manager green card applications. So both are green card applications. Both are now in phase 3 of their premium processing rollout. And for this particular phase, they are increasing the number of individuals that can now apply to have their green card applications processed via premium processing. That middle app, that I-140 piece of the application. So if you filed your EB-13, your multinational manager or executive application before January 1 of 2022, you are now eligible for upgrading to premium processing if you do so choose. As well, if you filed your national interest waiver application on or before February 1st, 2022, your application is also now eligible for premium processing. You will be required to upgrade that application by filing the premium processing form and paying the premium processing fee. The adjudication time or the processing time for premium processing for multinational executives or managers and our national interest waiver applications, the processing times is 45 days. So it's not the 15 days that we're normally used to with premium processing. It's 45 days. So keep that in mind. The Immigration Service is trying to expand the case types that they will be adjudicating via premium processing. So we are hoping that we will see more applications that use the Form I-140 available for premium processing. We are also hoping to see the applications to extend and change your non-immigrant status. Those are on Forms I-539. We are also very much fingers crossed looking to getting the employment authorization document or the EAD eligible for premium processing. As we know, the EADs have been backlogged, horribly so, and in some cases taking over a year to get those approved. So hopefully we will see a further expansion of the premium processing program into other visa categories. But for right now, we have just started the third phase of the premium processing rollout and the expansion for national interest waiver applications and for our multinational executives or managers. And that new phase 3 rollout was effective September 15th, so just a few short days ago. So if you have any questions about whether or not your currently pending application is eligible for premium processing, feel free to reach out, and we are happy to have that conversation with you. The next thing I want to talk about, which I talked about a little bit last week, is public charge. So having looked at that public charge rule a little bit closer, we are essentially going back to the public charge rule that we had prior to the past White House administration. And so it's taking a slightly more humane approach. We are no longer penalizing individuals for getting non-cash benefits. Some of those non-cash benefits include supplemental nutrition assistance program, otherwise known as SNAP, or any other kind of nutritional programs for children. We're not penalizing people for receiving children's health insurance program benefits or Medicaid benefits or housing benefits. Those are all non-cash benefits. So we're not, as an immigration service, individuals are no longer being penalized for receiving those services. They're also no longer being penalized for receiving services and benefits related to immunizations or testing for any sort of medical issues or diseases. So this current administration has taken a a little bit more of a humane approach to the public charge rule. That does not mean, however, that you do not need to show that you can provide for yourself or the individual that you are sponsoring for their green card, that they cannot provide for themselves financially. So this does not mean that it is essentially a free-for-all and there is no public charge analysis. There is absolutely a public charge analysis. If you feel that you do not meet the financial guidelines, the option is that you can use assets or you can use a joint sponsor. So, there is still a public charge analysis that is done by the Immigration Service. So a joint sponsor can be an individual that is related to you, or they do not have to be related to you. But in being a joint sponsor, that means that they will essentially sign a contract with the U.S. government that indicates, essentially, very broadly speaking, that if you receive means-tested benefits, that individual will sign a contract saying that they will be responsible for essentially paying back the federal government any means-tested benefits that you receive. So there is still a public charge analysis that is done for all green card applications. There's a more humane approach. It kind of makes more sense. We're not penalizing people for trying to be healthy. But the government is going to look at whether or not you can, in fact, financially support yourself. So if you have any questions about the public charge rule, and whether or not that will whether or not you'll qualify for your green card based on that piece of the puzzle. Again, feel free to reach out to our office at 954-903-1337, and we're happy to help you. A bit of good news as well. I wanted to talk about Citizenship Day. The Immigration Service celebrates this holiday every single year, and they try to host as many naturalization ceremonies on the day as possible. So the Immigration Service has announced that they are looking to welcome 19,000 new citizens between Constitution Day and Citizenship Day. And so they were planning roughly a little over 200, about 235 citizenship or naturalization ceremonies across the country where they would swear in new citizens. So they're looking to do that between September 17th and September 23rd. So if you are currently scheduled for your oath ceremony, your swearing in ceremony, you will most likely, between those dates, you will most likely be part of that 19,000 that they are anticipating swearing in as new citizens. The next thing I want to talk about is really a reminder for y'all, and it involves the U.S. military and their citizenship applications. So if you served in the military and you were discharged under honorable conditions, that will now open up a pathway for you to apply for and receive citizenship. So if you have any questions about how you were discharged from the military, if you received an uncharacterized discharge, you still may be eligible for U.S. citizenship. So if you have any questions about that, that is a relatively new policy change for the immigration agency. Feel free to give my office a call, and we're happy to have a conversation with you and see if we think you would be eligible for U.S. citizenship. And the last thing I want to talk to y'all about this Monday morning is also another reminder that we have, since March of 2020, had essentially an extra 60 days to respond to the majority of notices that have come out from the Immigration Service because of the COVID pandemic. COVID has not gone away. The government recognizes that it's still taking a little bit longer to access documents and to get documents, not only from here in the US, but also from overseas, due to social distancing, due to businesses being closed, due to government, the government's not fully up and running and back up to speed yet. So this is a reminder that notices that are dated inclusive up to October 23rd of this year will get an extra 60 days to respond. So that includes your request for additional evidence, your notice of intent to deny, your notice of intent to revoke applications, and your notice to rescind. So if you have any of these types of notices and you're bumping up against a deadline and you're having problems or trouble getting the necessary documents, either from here or or outside the United States, just remember for right now, up until October 23rd, 2022, this year, we have an extra 60 days to respond to that immigration notice. So that's all I have for you all this Monday morning. If you have any questions about U.S. immigration, feel free to reach out to my office. I am Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. My office phone number is 954-903-1337. Have a beautiful Monday morning and a fabulous rest of your